And a deep fly wins the game anyway. And there is a deep fly, and the Braves are going to win it. Another excruciating loss.
So I go down there and, I talked to a bunch of players, got sort of an understanding for the feeling in the clubhouse and the pulse of things, and talked to Nomar. And, it wasn't, there was some tension. His situation, it was a bit of a burden. Like, it was part of why things weren't flowing as well in the clubhouse.
We weren't playing well, we weren't gelling well, there was just stuff going on. There starts becoming a lot of, noise.
Were you pissed? Are you still mad?
We were dealing with the Nomar stuff from spring training, which was tiring.
There's been suggested that you were selfish.
I kind of told him, I said, maybe it's just time to think about, let's and he, he was kind of, I think that's where he was.
Think about moving on.
Yeah.
They had too much talent. They were too good. Kurt Schilling, Volk, Pedro, Manny, David, all these guys. And they're playing 500 ball for 3 months. That's a long time.
Well, more of the same for the Red Sox and the Yankees in this 2004 season. New York takes game 1 of this 3-game series. Their lead now 9.5 games over the Red Sox.
Frustration comes to mind, the word frustration, because this club has so much talent but hasn't been able to get on that roll.
Yeah, there's that missing element, missing part of the chemistry that just hasn't developed yet. Sometimes it just takes one catalytic event to get things going. We're trying everything we can, and it has to happen soon. Really don't like the tone of things right now, and really the way we're playing is not acceptable.
Forecast was awful. We were down to, very thin bullpen. We might not be able to get this thing in. Do we just bang it early, and we could probably use a day off anyway.
I remember riding with Varitek in. He was pissed off already coming to the game. He was wound up.
Just like every, I think, day game after a night game. You're probably cranky in the morning. I think we stopped and got a coffee.
Lost a tough one, the night before. And next day, show up in the field's a mess. We go out to walk the field, and Joe Torre's out there and one of the umpires, and we're going to cancel this game. I get back into the clubhouse, and our players are adamant we're playing.
Varitek, myself, Billy Miller, there was just a group of dudes that were irritated and we're playing.
We wanted to play. We've got to get the wheels spinning. We got to get the wheels turning in the right direction. We need to win. We need to start this going now.
That man, when Tech gets to talk, I was like, oh shit. He don't say much more. He say something, you better pay attention, That's why we call him the captain.
So I called Joe, and I said, Joe, hang on. I said, I might have been a little premature out there.
I was pissed because they had told us the game was called. I don't know if Theo talked the umpires out of it or whatever the heck it was, but I didn't think it was the right thing.
We're going to play this game. The Yankees were livid.
About 2 o'clock, roughly, the two managers walked out on the field, and it was deemed that this field was unplayable. The New York Yankees went so far as to start the team buses. Players were showering and walking out of the stadium, at which point the Boston Red Sox overruled that earlier decision and said, no, we're going to play.
I remember I'm in a pair of shorts, T-shirt, and no shoes, and I'm sleeping inside the weight room. And I get woken up, and they tell me that the game is on in 30 minutes. I need an hour just to get prepared. And they said, game on in 30 minutes, and I'm in a pair of shorts and a T-shirt. It was a nightmare.
Arroyo in trouble, first and third, nobody out. And Matsui into left center field. That's going to put the Yankees on top.
You're facing, one of the greatest lineups in the game, and you feel like you're completely unprepared.
He was getting hit around a bit. Not a whole lot of command.
Breaking ball misses And a strike, and Varitek says, Bronson, calm it down a little bit.
They're leaning out over the plate, forcing him to use his fastball more. The good hitters forced you to pitch them in, or at least show them in enough. You always have to go in and out. And he ends up hitting them.
Alex Rodriguez is drilled.
I was disappointed in myself that I hit it. I'm trying to get an out, and he didn't see it that way, and he's just screaming at me. Throw the mother effing ball across the plate.
He was yelling at Bronson, and a few F words. Then it turns into F words to me.
And I think that's what Varitek said. I let you say, fuck you once, but you're not gonna say it twice.
You're like, holy crap, this is gonna happen.
You're waiting.
And we know what he said.
Go.
Varitek and A-Rod going at it. Schilling is right in the middle of it.
You kind of go out there and your head's on a swivel, one, because they're big and strong and you don't want somebody to accidentally knock the shit out of you, or maybe not accidentally.
Mass chaos, people pulling, pushing, getting in between.
Just holding on to people's jerseys for that split second, getting punched in the side of the head.
Now another fight off to the side.
All of a sudden, Tanya Sturtz grabs Gabe Kapler around the neck. Trot sees that. Trot's now trying to choke, grab Sturtz's eye off, pull his hair out, whatever it's gonna take. Now we got like, it's just like protecting Sturtz, because Trot, I think, is trying to kill Sturtz.
I don't remember much. I don't know where I was. I think I just saw a little bit of red.
Sturtz is bleeding from the left ear.
Kapler and Sturtz, I believe, were the two that splintered off. That's where my attention went after the initial fight was between Varitek and Alex Rodriguez.
I have a vivid memory of sitting behind the plate with Theo in that game. And when the fight started, he jumped out of his seat and he was like pumped, like, oh, finally, we like show some energy this year.
I couldn't believe Tech put his hands in his face like that. I have a perfect angle when